Hello everybody, this is William Amzalag and I want to welcome you in our 5th episode of Jeunesse Longevity TV.
Jeunesse, we are redefining youth.
Reserve, resveratrol, those two names seem almost identical. And this is, of course, intentional. Reserve is a Jeunesse product, and resveratrol is one of the major ingredients, but it is not the only one. In fact, there are 8 other major active ingredients: cherry, aloe vera, pomegranate, green tea, blueberry, grape seeds, acai, and grape juice. Why all these exotic ingredients? Mainly because they are strong antioxidants. So antioxidant means against oxidation. So what means oxidation? It is what's happening when we cut an apple and leave it exposed to the air. The apple becomes brown. We call it oxidation, exactly like a piece of metal which will become rusty when exposed to the air. This is a chemical reaction which happens each time that oxygen is involved. And oxygen is involved everywhere in our body. It will oxidize everything, including our DNA. Fortunately, we have in-house antioxidants which are designed to counteract the destructive action of oxygen. But this is not enough to cover all the damage done by oxidation. This is why our body uses extra antioxidants coming from our food, and especially the ones coming from colored fruits like blueberry, acai, cherries, and red grapes. Those antioxidants are located on the skin of the fruit, and they are originally designed to protect the fruits against oxidation. Reserve has an excellent combination of antioxidants, especially for repairing DNA damages. But for repairing DNA, Reserve must reach DNA, and the biggest obstacle is crossing the cell's membrane. Very few ingredients are able to do so. It has been proven that Reserve has the ability to cross the cell's membrane. The CAP-E test measures the antioxidant potential of a natural product. It is designed to find out if those antioxidants can penetrate and protect cells from oxidative damage. Reserve has obtained a remarkable CAP or CAP-E score of 37.1 units per cubic centimeter, which is by far above standard. You understand now why Reserve is repairing DNA damage, but this is not the only feature of Reserve. Reserve is improving our longevity, and I will show you how. Do you know that if we eat less, we can live longer? If you eat 40% less in terms of calories, you may live 30% more. And this is a proven scientific test or scientific fact tested all over the world. Why does calorie restriction increase longevity? To understand why, let's go to the fascinating world of genetics. You know, we have between 20 and 30,000 genes located in each of our 46 chromosomes. Those genes are holding the secret codes for manufacturing thousands of different proteins that we need for growing, working, thinking, and surviving. All genes are not activated at the same time. In fact, only 10% are working at the same time. The others are dormant and will wake up upon special needs. Some will stay dormant all our life. Yes, all our life, unless we are in danger. When our life is threatened, some genes called survival gene will suddenly wake up. Especially genes called sirtuin, which in turn will activate the production of specific protein enzymes called sirtuin enzymes. And guess what will happen? Those enzymes will boost all our function and system, cardiovascular, immune, brain system, lung, digestive, and so on. But the most interesting is that those enzymes will enhance the stability of the DNA and suppress the formation of abnormal DNA. And this is good for longevity. Starving or eating 40% calorie less is considered as a threat and will automatically activate sirtuin genes. This is why calorie restriction enhances longevity by protecting all our function. But starving all your life is not fun and not realistic for most of us. This is why scientists were looking for something that can mimic calorie restriction without having to starve. They found it in red wine. Red wine contains polyphenols. Polyphenols are molecules which give you the red to the red wine, the dark brown to chocolate, the green to the green teas. Grapes, apple, onion, peanuts, berry, and many other fruit and vegetables are loaded with polyphenols. And resveratrol is one of those molecules found in high concentration in the skin of the red grapes. And it's playing a major role in longevity. Those molecules can activate the sirtuin gene in the absence of calorie restriction to help repairing genes and then increasing longevity. So what are the health benefits of reserve? Reserve increase endurance. Reserve increase the number of energy producing mitochondria in muscle cells. It also enhances muscle strength and reduces muscle fatigue, along with improved coordination. Reserve enhances memory. Much the same way that we lose strength, endurance in our muscle as we age, we also see a gradual decline in memory, reaction time, and processing of information. Reserve enhances memory and reaction time. Reserve improves fat regulation. In 2005, scientists in Canada and in Chile discovered that resveratrol appears to counter the effects of elevated fatty acid and also slowed sugar absorption in the intestines. Reserve improves resistance against chronic inflammation, and chronic inflammation is one of the leading causes of DNA damage. Resveratrol has been proven to reduce inflammation at the cellular level. How can we take reserve? Reserve is presented in a gel form, and this gel delivery system is very important because it increases the bioavailability of our ingredient, which means better diffusion to the digestive barrier. You can take from 1 to 3 sachets a day at any moment of the day. To make a long story short, resveratrol is a great discovery. And as so often happens with great discovery, the answers turn out to be based on a very simple idea. By taking natural plant molecules, we can switch genes on and off to benefit from their anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antibacterial, and blood sugar normalizing effect, and at the end, live longer. Reserve is a very strong cellular level protection against oxidation and free radical damages. By mimicking calorie restriction, it will activate sirtuin genes and therefore protect our body against age-related diseases. It will give us more immediate energy, better focus, and concentration. Reserve is great for every one of us. My name is William Amzalag, and I am Generation Young. See you. Have you heard about telomeres? Probably not. Telomeres are the end of the chromosome. They are here to protect our DNA. They are also made of DNA, but the sequences which are forming telomeres are repetitive DNA, which means that they are made of the same genetic codes repeated 2,000 times. One way to describe telomeres is to compare them to aglets. You know, these plastic caps at the end of the shoelaces. Just as aglets keep shoelaces from falling apart at the end, telomeres keep the ends of DNA from fraying. So why this DNA is made of repetitive DNA sequences? What for? When cells divide and multiply, it is very important that the DNA remain intact. If we lose portion of the information which is in our DNA every time it is replicated, human life will just be impossible. So with every replication of our DNA, part of the telomere sequence is chopped off. But this really doesn't matter, because we are losing the same sequences of nucleotides, the same code. There is still another identical sequence. This is how nature protects the DNA in a chromosome. Meanwhile, after 50 to 70 division, the cells in our body reach a stage where there is no more telomeres to protect our DNA. So these cells cannot longer reproduce themselves. They reach what we call a retirement-like state in which they die or no longer divide. This end point is called senescence. And when senescence reaches a majority of cells, we die of old age. Today, we can measure the biological age of cells by the length of the telomere. When we are conceived, the embryo has about 15,000 base pair in its telomere. By the way, a base pair is a standard unit of measurement in the chromosome. And the total length of a DNA strand is 3 billion base pairs. So after many replication, a newborn have only 10,000 pairs in each telomere. And we already lost 33% of our telomere length. In a sense, we start to die the minute we are conceived. When telomeres are reduced to 5,000 base pairs, our cells become senescent and die. We are losing approximately 40 to 50 base pairs every year. So theoretically, it should take 120 years to get all our telomeres reaching these 5,000 base pairs. This is why some scientists believe that the maximum lifespan is about 120 years. And by the way, the world record of longevity is still belonging to Jeanne Calment, a French lady who died in 1997 at the age of 122 years. What a coincidence! Even worse, when a good proportion of telomeres are reaching the 5,000 pair limit, our immune system is not longer efficient and we become very sensitive to chronic diseases. Why telomeres are shortening in humans while in some other species they are always at full length? Elizabeth Blackburn from the University of California, Berkeley, discovered why, and with this discovery she won the Nobel Prize in 2009. While she was working on germinal cells, the ones which are responsible for reproduction, she found out that their telomeres never shorten. And this is against a nature miracle, in a sense that life will be impossible if an embryo inherited from his parent short telomeres. Considering the millions of necessary cells duplication during pregnancy, all the cells will reach senescence in few days, and the fetus will never reach maturity. Elizabeth found out why. The germinal cells has a special enzyme called telomerase, which is genetically controlled and activated permanently. When telomerase is activated, it will rebuild every piece of telomere which is lost, and this is almost magic. Piece by piece, brick by brick. So why it is not the same in all the other cells? Elizabeth Blackburn found out that all our cells possess telomerase, but unfortunately they are in a sleeping state. Their gene is repressing them to work. Why? Well, it's still a secret that nature is keeping. But if we discover how to turn the telomerase gene from off to on in all our cells, we may have the secret of immortality. And this is why many research labs try to discover. One of them, the Jeunesse Corporation in US, while working on ancient Chinese remedies, discovered that in the root of one herb called Astragalus membranus, there was one specific ingredient capable of turning on the telomerase gene. They call it telomerase activator, and give it a special name code, TA65. Jeunesse Corporation worked almost 10 years in this TA65, searching for safety and efficiency in vitro first, which means in cell culture, and in vivo means on human cells. They sold all the patent and result to a New York-based company, TA Science, which is now promoting the molecule all over the world. So what is the connection with Finity? Jeunesse made an agreement with TA Science to get exclusive rights to use TA65 all over the world in the direct sales industry, and we included TA65 in Finity. While TA65 being the major ingredient, it is not the only one. We included vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin B6, vitamin B9, and other ingredients as choline, fucoidan, coenzyme Q10, purslane, which is rich in omega-3, tocotrienol, and tocopherols. So what happened when we start using Finity? After taking Finity, telomerase start to be activated in cells where telomeres are critically short. At the moment when telomeres are longer than 5,000 base pair, cells start to divide again and life is back in those cells. It is progressive as TS65 reach more and more cells. And if you take it on a regular basis, the process of cells rejuvenation will start. The good news is that TS65 has a so-called transient effect, which means that it will activate telomerase only if telomeres are critically short, and will stop any effect when telomeres are long enough to induce cellular division. What are the visible benefits? The most important benefit is for our immune cells. They have been affected by insufficient numbers of functional cells, and they will start to regain activity, which means better protection against bacteria, against virus, and against diseases. This benefit has been documented in several clinical trials. Then other benefits may appear: better vision, better libido, better fat loss, wound healing, improving bone density, better skin. How taking it? 2 capsules twice a day at any moment before, during, or after meals. Benefits are starting to be visible after 2 to 3 months of regular use. Who should not take it? Children. There is no need for children as their telomeres are still long enough. Young adults, for the same reason, starting at the age of 35, should be reasonable. Anybody with a medical condition should consult his physician for advice before taking Finity. Finity is a unique product, exclusive to Jeunesse. Enjoy! My name is William Amzalag. See you at our next episode. Thank you. Have you heard about stem cells? I'm sure. Meanwhile, I wish to share with you my knowledge about stem cells, how magic they are, and how they are changing the medical world. To understand what are stem cells, let's go back to life. How life is starting. Life between humans is starting by the fusion between the female ovule and the male spermatozoid. It takes millions of spermatozoids to select the lucky one to win the right of joining the female ovule. And guess what? When they join, they form the first embryonic stem cell. With this cell, life started. This cell has a tremendous power. It will duplicate in 2 cells, one identical to the original, and one going to form the first embryonic tissue. A tissue is a group of identical cells. After several days and several cells division, the 3 major embryonic tissues are ready to work. Each one is responsible for creating family of adult stem cells, which are going to form specialized cells as brain cells, cardiac cells, or muscle cells. The big difference between embryonic and adult stem cells is that the embryonic has unlimited power of giving birth to any specialized cells, while the adult ones can induce only the one which are part of the tissue where they originated from. The use of embryonic stem cells is regulated by health authority for 2 reasons. The first one is that in order to get embryonic stem cells, we have to use embryos. And this is creating a debate and criticism. This reason, by the way, is no longer accurate because Japanese scientists find a way to generate embryonic stem cells from adult skin cells, resolving the ethical debate. The second reason is that embryonic stem cells are so powerful that it may be possible with them to clone human cells, and that's create a huge debate. But let's come back to life. After 9 months, the baby born, with more than 200 different specialized cells family produced by stem cells. It is not finished, because nature is always anticipating what? Shortage. During life, shortage of specialized cells which die or do not replicate. We need a solution, and stem cells are the solution. Nature has provided storage in all parts of our body to store stem cells, especially in the bone marrow, in the skin, and guess what? In the abdominal fat. This is now that the story becomes really exciting. How or what if we can extract those stem cells and use them for treating diseases? Do you know that has been done many decades ago? It's called bone marrow transplant, which is in fact a stem cells transplant. This protocol is used for patients with severe leukemia, in which we start by eradicating cells from the bone marrow, leaving the patient with no defense, no immune cells, and this is why he is confined in a sterile environment. Once done, we are looking for the proper donor which has similar genes in order to avoid transplant rejection. And the donor stem cells are injected to replace the cancerous one. This protocol has two major issues. One is to find the proper donor, and the second one is to avoid tissue rejection using aggressive immunosuppressing agent. Today, the use of stem cells has almost revolutionized medicine, creating a new discipline called regenerative medicine. The goal is to find the proper stem cells which will be injected in specific area to become the specialized cells we want. Regenerative medicine is the future of medicine. Every function, every organ will be the target of stem cell therapy. It has already started with sport medicine, where athletes used their own stem cells to treat joint problems, especially cartilage dysfunction. Some professional athletes will be in the market several years more than usual, thanks to regular injection of stem cells in their joint. Cardiac transplant will be reduced thanks to the use of stem cells in the heart. Israeli scientists have successfully treated some blindness with stem cells. Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and even autism are under stem cells trial today. Diabetes type 2 and very soon diabetes type 1 will be successfully treated with stem cells. Knee and other joint prosthesis will not be anymore used. What about skin? Treating burns with stem cells transplant is a big success today. So where Jeunesse is standing with the stem cell revolution? We will see in our next episode how we are using the stem cells thanks to the work of Dr. Nathan Newman. If you have seen the previous episode, you should be aware of stem cells. If you haven't, I urge you to do so before looking at this one. Luminous serum has been formulated by Dr. Nathan Newman, a cosmetic surgeon and a dermatologist. He practiced in Beverly Hills, in Los Angeles, and he is a pioneer in stem cells technology. He became very famous with his patented technology called stem cell lift. The idea of using stem cells extracted from the fat came while he was practicing liposuction on his patient. Having studied stem cells, he knew that abdominal fat was one of the best reservoirs of stem cells. And he was sorry to see all these precious cells being sucked and finishing in the garbage. The problem was that the equipment designed for liposuction was too aggressive for the stem cells, which couldn't survive. He decided then to design a specific equipment and a specific protocol to gently extract the fat without destroying the stem cells. Once the fat is extracted manually with a syringe, he will then separate the fat from the stem cells by a process called centrifugation, and he will re-inject the stem cells within a sterile environment to the same patient from whom he extracted the fat. The protocol of re-injection is based on specific criteria and on this desired target. Dr. Newman became famous and attracted all the media to his clinic because the result was almost unbelievable. Also, the fact to be in Beverly Hills, the mecca of the Hollywood stars, made him much more famous. So, what that has to do with Jeunesse? We cannot use this protocol because it is a medical protocol. So, where is the link? The link comes from Randy Ray, who became Dr. Newman's patient. Randy was supposed to go on surgery for his knee, but he wanted to try first stem cells injection, and this is why he frequently visited Dr. Newman's office. One day, while waiting in Nathan's office, he saw a small bottle on the desk and immediately thought that Dr. Newman was formulating a kind of stem cells, a kind of serum to add or to replace his protocol. Randy saw immediately this enormous opportunity and asked Dr. Newman if he can get the license to sell his stem cells. Nathan smiled and told him, "There is no stem cells in this bottle because they are living cells, and once you put them out of the environment or not in a proper nutritional gel, they will not survive." Randy was so disappointed that Nathan had some good news. There is no stem cells in this serum, but everything in this formula is produced by stem cells. What do you mean by produced by stem cells, say Randy? The serum is a byproduct of stem cells. It is full of growth factor, said Newman. Randy never heard about growth factor. He heard about growth hormone, but Nathan told him that has nothing to do with growth factors. So what are they? How do they work? And what are the link with stem cells? To understand how the serum works, it is very important to understand the difference and the link between growth factors and stem cells. First, the difference. Growth factors are molecules and not living cells. Molecules can survive out of the body. They can be applied on the skin, and they do their job on the skin. Not the stem cells. They cannot. Second, the link. Growth factors are signaling molecules. They are released by stem cells to give a signal to the skin cells. Each growth factor has a specific signal to send, which will lead to a specific job within the skin cells. For instance, the transforming growth factor beta will give a signal for stimulating collagen secretion. The keratinocyte growth factor will send a signal to stimulate epithelial cells growth. The interleukin will send a signal to reduce inflammation. All growth factors will act in synergy to repair, to replace, or regenerate skin cells when they apply to the skin. Now, let's go back to the luminous serum. After extracting stem cells from the fat, Dr. Newman is placing a very small quantity in a petri dish, which is a nutritional gel, and he will wait several days. What stem cells are doing when they are in a proper nutritional environment? They multiply very fast and they talk a lot between them. What do they talk about? Well, they talk about growth factor. More precisely, they send a lot of signals outside of the cells, releasing many growth factors within the media gel. After several days, Dr. Newman takes out the media gel, which contains all the growth factor. He will filter the gel, eliminating all stem cells, and that's it. This is what we have in the serum. More than 200 different growth factors, nothing else. So what they will do on the skin? They stimulate all the biochemical pathways that promote skin tissue repair and regeneration. How does it work? Luminous serum has multiple effects. It reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles as a result of new collagen synthesis. It improves the appearance of age spots and even out pigmentation. It reduces skin roughness. It improves skin texture and elasticity. It improves skin smoothness and tightness. Easy to use. Twice a day. After proper cleansing, you apply a small quantity on your face and neck, and once dried, you apply on the day cream in the day and the night cream in the evening. Luminous serum is exclusive to Jeunesse. There is no one product in the market which can be compared. Zen Body. Zen Body for what? Zen Body for losing fat, not losing weight. So what is the difference between losing fat and losing weight? To understand the difference, let's see how our body composition is. Our body is made of 3 parts. The most important part is water, which represents 60 to 70% of the total weight. Then the lean mass, which is essentially muscles and bones, and represent 20 to 30% of the total weight. And finally, the fat mass, representing from 5 to 30% of the total weight, depending on your corpulence. When we lose weight, we lose mainly water, muscles, and fat, and this is not good because we need the water, and obviously we don't want to lose muscles. So scientists try to find out a way of losing fat without losing muscles, taking in consideration that we can always drink water. So what happens when we eat food in terms of energy? Food are broken down into macronutrients, which are basically protein, fat, and carbohydrate, and in micronutrients, which are vitamins, minerals, and trace elements. All those nutrients cross the intestinal barrier and go to the blood. Carbohydrates are going first in small storage place in the liver and are stored in the form of glycogen. But the space is limited. All that is controlled and managed by a couple of opposite hormones called insulin and glucagon. But if we don't need immediate energy, or if the liver storage is full, then the carbohydrates are converted into fat and are directed into the fat cells. This is the way to gain weight by eating too much pasta, pizza, cookies, bread, sugar, and sugar drinks. Protein are sent where is needed, but if necessary, they can be converted to fat too. Fat are usually sent directly to the fat cells, and more fat you eat, more fat you keep. Now, what happens when the fat is inside the fat cells? As I told you, our genes are oriented to saving energy and will be reluctant to let it go out from the cell. This is why nature built a sophisticated network of hormones controlling the entry and the exit of fat from the fat cell. The most important hormones are the ones controlling our hunger, and as usual in human physiology, we have two opposite hormones. The ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, which means that when your stomach is empty, this hormone is released and asks you to eat. The leptin, which is the satiety hormone, which means that when your stomach is full, the hormone is released and asks you to stop eating. Adiponectin is an hormone exclusively produced in the fat tissue, and it's acting in partnership with leptin and with insulin. G3PDH is not a hormone, it is an enzyme, and this is a bad guy. Because when released, all carbohydrate will be converted to fat. Norepinephrine is an hormone which increases thermogenesis, which means heat production by the body, and consequently will help to burn more fat. So what happens when we become obese? Our fat tissue, especially the abdominal one, becomes the reservoir of very aggressive molecules which are creating a silent inflammation syndrome. What means that? It means that those bad molecules will bind with leptin and insulin, stopping them to do their job. They will create a vicious circle where leptin cannot play the satiety role, and you will feel hungry all the time. Then you eat a lot, But insulin cannot play the role with sugar, and fat. Sugar will increase in the blood, creating diabetes type 2. Adiponectin, which is partner with leptin, is not anymore functional. It is a mess which will lead to a lot of chronic diseases, including diabetes and cancer. This is why Jeunesse created Zen Body, a line of 3 products designed to help you to lose fat while keeping as much as possible your lean mass intact. Zen Body is a line of 3 products designed for 3 targets: stop craving, start burning fat, rebuild muscles. Let's see the first one, Zen Shape. Zen Shape is designed to help you regain leptin and adiponectin appropriate levels to avoid craving and hunger. The major ingredient is Ervingia gabonensis, known as African mango. Combined with green tea and raspberry ketone, this is the best things you can try if you do have a big appetite. African mango will help you to regulate leptin level. Raspberry ketone search for all the fat cells in your body and make them available for use as energy by increasing the level of adiponectin. Green tea will support epinephrine levels and help burning fat. The 3 ingredients will reduce the level of G3-PDH and reduce the risk of converting sugar to fat. Zen Shape is presented in capsules, and we recommend to take 2 capsules twice a day, if possible before meals. Any pregnant or lactating woman or anybody with medical condition should consult his physician before taking Zen Shape. Then look at the second one, Zen Fit. Zen Fit has been designed to help minimizing muscle loss and regaining muscle that has been lost. It is an amino drink in a stick pack. You mix 1 stick pack with 300 milliliters of cold water 30 to 60 minutes before your 2 main meal with your Zen Shapes capsules. Each stick contains 20 grams of high-quality proteins plus all the branch chain amino acid plus extra L-leucine. Amino acids are essential to your health, but your body cannot produce them on its own. As we age, it is harder to build or maintain muscles even with exercise. However, studies have shown that what we need is more of the amino acid called L-leucine, and Zen Fit has it. L-tyrosine helps increase basal metabolism and maintain production of the thyroid gland, which can fall during period of dieting. Zen Fit has L-tyrosine. Branch amino acids are especially important to be able to spare or build muscle that has been stimulated by exercise. Zen Fit has it. Finally, amino acids also activate neurotransmitter in the brain, which can elevate your mood. Let's go to the next one and the last one, Zen Pro. Protein is the ultimate muscle fuel. That's why we have incorporated in Zen Pro a premium protein blend of whey, rice, pea, and chia seed powder. The Zen Pro formula also incorporates a probiotic blend of healthy bacteria to optimize digestion and help you to stay lean. You mix one packet with 300 milliliters of cold water or rice or almond milk and have a snack or two any time in the day. How to see results? Usually you jump every day on your scale to watch the progress. Don't do that with Zen Body. Use another tool. The first things to do is to find out if you have too much fat. And for that, there is many tools, some very expensive. But the best one, the most accurate, is a tape in centimeter to measure the waist circumference. Be sure to get a tape of adequate length and place the tape at the level of the belly button. For a woman, a waist circumference under 80 centimeters is healthy. If it is between 80 and 88, there are some risk, but still rapidly reversible. Above 88 centimeters, risk of cardiovascular disease and other chronic disease are quite important. For men, your health is at risk above 94 centimeters, and this risk is quite high, above 102 centimeters. Your waist circumference will be your guide during the trip to better health. Meanwhile, if you wish to go to a maximum value and maximum result from Zen Body, you should improve your lifestyle. My name is William Amzalag. See you at our next episode. Thank you.
Jeunesse. We are redefining youth.
Итак, вы знаете, у нас сегодня еще один совершенно удивительный гость. Здесь на этой сцене уже выступал врач, а сейчас на эту сцену поднимется другой доктор, которого мы очень ждали, который почтил нас своим присутствием в октябре в Москве. И те, кто был на этом мероприятии, были абсолютно очарованы этим человеком, его профессионализмом, его умением подать материал, его скромностью. Скажу всего лишь два момента, хотя можно говорить о нем часами. Момент номер первый. До того, как стать научным консультантом компании Jeunesse, этот человек был научным консультантом НАСА. И второй факт – это то, что именно этот человек был номинирован на получение Нобелевской премии в 2014 году за те продукты, о которых он сегодня будет разговаривать и будет рассказывать. Итак, я прошу вас встретить очень громкими и искренними бурными аплодисментами доктор Надежда. Добрый день всем.
And it's a pleasure to be here in Moscow in beautiful sunshine and warm weather.
Для меня большая радость быть здесь, в Москве, где у вас прекрасная погода и даже светит солнце.
Today I'm very, very excited to be here on behalf of Jeunesse.
Я очень рад сегодня представлять Jeunesse.
And I'd like to share with you one of the most important advances that we've actually found about staying healthy and improving the quality of our lives.
И я бы хотел сегодня поделиться с вами некоторыми новыми достижениями, которые мы сделали в области того, как оставаться здоровым
и повысить качество жизни.
The secret to staying young, the secret to staying healthy, and the secret to enjoying your life is all about understanding how the cells in our bodies work.
Секрет того, чтобы оставаться молодым, хорошо себя чувствовать и долго жить, заключается в понимании того, как работают наши клетки.
Jeunesse has created probably one of the most unique systems for staying healthy.
Jeunesse разработал, пожалуй, одну из самых продвинутых систем того, как оставаться здоровым.
And this is called the Youth Enhancement System.
Эта система называется система усиления молодости, то, что называется Yes.
And this system is based on understanding the science about keeping cells healthy.
И эта система основана на понимании того, на научном понимании того, как делать так, чтобы клетки оставались здоровыми.
And over the past 20 years, my research has been to understand how do we keep each one of the cells in our body as healthy as possible.
И последние 20 лет я занимался научной деятельностью, исследованиями, посвященными как раз тому, чтобы понять, что нужно делать, чтобы каждая наша клетка оставалась здорова как можно дольше.
So the Youth Enhancement System has been designed to work from inside your body to make each cell more healthy, as well as to work from the outside to make the skin healthier.
И таким образом система усиления молодости разработана так, чтобы работать изнутри, то есть сохранять здоровье каждой клетки изнутри, но также и снаружи, под воздействием на вашу кожу.
So the AM&PM formula or product
Продукт, который называется AM&PM, можно сказать утро-вечер,
has all the latest science to start with making your cells healthy from the inside out.
Это реализация всех научных достижений для того, чтобы человек стал здоровым изнутри и снаружи.
So in each one of our human bodies, we have 100 trillion cells.
В каждом человеческом теле 100 триллионов клеток.
So if we can make each cell a little bit healthier,
И если мы сможем помочь каждой клеточке стать здоровее,
work more efficiently,
чтобы она работала более эффективно,
the result is very simple.
то результат будет очень простым и предсказуемым.
You feel better, you sleep better, you have more energy, and you stay healthier.
Вы лучше себя чувствуете, лучше спите, у вас больше энергии, вы гораздо лучше живете.
And up until recently,
И до недавнего времени,
no matter how much money you have, if you're a billionaire,
независимо от того, какой у вас доход, даже если вы миллиардер,
there's one thing you could not buy,
одну единственную вещь, которую невозможно было купить,
and that is a healthier life and a more functional and productive life.
это больше здоровья и более полноценную здоровую жизнь.
And the science behind Jeunesse and the AM&PM product
Но наука, которая стоит за Jeunesse и за продуктом AM&PM,
is where we can give you this.
это как раз приближает к тому, что мы это можем сделать.
So, can you run that video?
Я бы хотел, чтобы проиграли видео.
And without the sound, this. So within each one of the 100 trillion cells of our body,
И если каждый из сотни триллионов клеток в нашем теле,
the secret is to keep these cells healthy and working optimally.
секрет заключается в том, чтобы сохранить эти клетки здоровыми.
The healthy cells make healthy organs, make a healthy
Соответственно,
body.
из здоровых клеток состоят здоровые органы и в целом здоровая система, все тело.
And in each one, as in each one of the cells, the DNA, the different components of the cells have to function more optimally for that to happen.
И чтобы можно было этого достичь, что внутри каждой клетки все ее составляющие, ДНК и прочие компоненты должны также более эффективно работать.
And the more unhealthy cells we have, the quicker we age.
Чем больше в нашем организме неправильно или плохо функционирующих клеток, тем быстрее мы стареем.
So the next thing to understand is very important.
Следующий момент, который очень важно понять, заключается в следующем.
We really have two types of cells. We have our body cells,
У нас, по сути, два типа клеток. Есть клетки тела, соматические клетки,
and then we have our stem cells.
и есть стволовые клетки.
The stem cells are one of the most important components of keeping us healthy.
А стволовые клетки – это как раз очень важный компонент в формуле того, как оставаться здоровым.
So AM/PM formula is the only product that is designed to keep both your stem cells and your body cells healthy.
А AM/PM – это единственный продукт, который разработан таким образом, который направлен на сохранение стволовых клеток в здоровом состоянии.
And it's our stem cells that replace the body cells as they get damaged and wear out.
Именно стволовые клетки заменяют собой соматические клетки, когда те выходят из строя или им наносится какой-то ущерб.
So if we keep both our stem cells and our body cells healthy, we age more efficiently and we don't end up with diseases.
И таким образом, если мы выполняем такую задачу по сохранению и стволовых, и соматических клеток в более здоровом состоянии, мы меньше стареем на протяжении жизни.
That we start to experience as we get younger, like arthritis, like heart disease, and even cancer.
И у нас не будет таких последствий, как заболевания, инфаркт, рак и так далее.
So if we see here, when we're young,
если посмотрим на эту схему, в самом начале жизни, пока мы молодые,
we have mostly very healthy cells.
У нас в основном очень здоровые клетки.
But as the damage to those cells start to increase,
Но как только ущерб, который эти клетки выдерживают каждый день, начинает увеличиваться, накапливаться,
the more unhealthy cells we have, the quicker we
тем
age.
больше мы накапливаем в нашем организме нездоровых клеток.
And at a certain point, if our unhealthy cells start to get equal to the healthy cells, we age very rapidly.
И в какой-то момент, когда пропорционально количество нездоровых клеток начинает равняться с количеством здоровых, мы начинаем быстрее стареть.
Now, my research over the last 5 years has been very important. This research was on stem cells.
И последние 5 лет я занимался исследованием стволовых клеток, очень важное исследование.
And this past year, myself and our research group at Rutgers University received a Nobel nomination for our research.
И в прошлом году я и моя команда в Rutgers University были номинированы на Нобелевскую премию за наше исследование.
Because what we found was one of the secrets to keeping cells healthy.
Потому что мы раскрыли один из секретов того, как сохранять клетки здоровыми.
And the main secrets are keeping the DNA healthy.
Один из секретов, главный секрет того, как сохранить в здоровом состоянии ДНК,
the telomeres healthy,
а также теломеры,
okay, and keeping the genes inside the cells working as best as possible.
И также делать так, чтобы гены работали тоже наиболее эффективным образом.
So everybody ages, okay? We all age. We can't
Все
stop
мы
aging.
стареем, каждый человек этого не избежать, стареет.
But what we can do is let you use the fullest potential inside each one of your cells so you age much better.
Но что с этим можно сделать? Можно использовать весь потенциал, который заложен в каждой нашей клетке.
So the AM/PM formula is very, very different. It is not vitamin and minerals.
Формула AM/PM очень отличается от всех других продуктов. Это не витамин.
Now, although it contains the key vitamins and minerals, the most important thing it contains are special compounds found in natural plants and extracts from natural other compounds.
Хотя, конечно, витамины в ней тоже есть, но в ней также содержатся экстракты из ряда растений.
That actually help the genes inside the cells work better and actually turn back on the genes that we had active when we were young.
И таким образом гены внутри клеток начинают работать лучше и, в свою очередь, инициируют работу других генов, которые были активны, когда мы были молоды.
Now, I don't want anyone to have to remember this, but
Я не буду просить, чтобы вы выучили всю эту схему,
to give you an idea, these are the key genes inside the cell that help keep each cell young and you young as
но
well.
хочу в целом сказать, что вот здесь, где я показала, это основные гены, которые в нашем организме отвечают за то, чтобы мы оставались молодыми, здоровыми, чувствовали себя хорошо.
So what we have here, the components of AM/PM
И вот здесь у нас компоненты AM/PM,
actually turn on and off different genes
которые включают, активизируют вот эти гены,
so that your cells work much more efficiently.
И таким образом, посредством этого, мы заставляем клетки работать лучше, более эффективно.
So, what is AM/PM formula?
Итак, в чем заключается формула AM/PM?
But AM/PM formula is really the first product ever created to work inside the cell.
Это первый продукт, который работает изнутри клетки.
Beyond what vitamins and minerals are.
И его эффект выходит за пределы того, что могут делать витамины или минералы.
That actually works on the genetic software of the cells.
Поскольку он работает именно с генным материалом, с генным программированием.
So inside AM/PM are so many different
И в составе AM/PM, как вы видите, экстракты из растений, довольно большого количества растений,
that you could never eat everything you need in order to get them.
которые затруднительно просто потреблять пищу каждый день.
We've actually put in 9 different groupings of natural compounds.
Мы разделили все компоненты нашего продукта на 9 групп.
From plant extracts to algae extracts,
Там есть
seaweed
экстракты
extracts.
растений, экстракты водорослей, экстракты семян.
Each one of those compounds work together
И все эти компоненты работают вместе,
to make each cell work more efficiently.
чтобы помочь каждой клетке работать более эффективно.
So, also very important, we have placed inside AM/PM digestive enzymes.
Также очень важный момент в нашу формулу AM/PM мы добавили ферменты, способствующие пищеварению.
And digestive enzymes are very important because they not only help you take more nutrient from the food that you are eating,
Эти ферменты очень важны не только потому, что они позволяют вам усвоить гораздо больше питательных веществ из того, что вы принимаете,
but your intestines inside are the source of keeping your immune system strong.
но также и потому, что кишечник – это, собственно, тот компонент вашего тела, благодаря которому вы полностью, ваш организм чувствует себя более сильным и крепким.
The other very, very important thing we've accomplished is AM/PM helps regulate your body's biological clock.
Еще один важный момент. С помощью AM/PM мы можем регулировать биологические часы организма.
So as we age, we don't sleep as much as we should, and in the morning we're tired.
Когда мы стареем, то мы начинаем хуже спать, и по утрам не так быстро просыпаемся, не так бодро себя чувствуем.
This is because the human body, that each cell that we have, has a built-in clock.
Это потому, что внутри каждой клеточки нашего организма есть такие встроенные часы.
And as we age, the clock gets reversed.
Со старением эти часы сбиваются.
So we don't sleep well, and if we don't sleep well, our body can't heal and repair itself.
Поэтому мы спим хуже, а если мы спим хуже, то восстановительные способности организма снижаются.
And if we don't have energy in the morning, we can't function.
И если у нас нет энергии по утрам, то, естественно, нам тяжело работать целый день.
So one of the things,
Просто функционировать.
the key thing people who use AM/PM notice is they sleep better within a few days and they have much more energy throughout the day.
Один из основных эффектов, которые замечают люди, которые принимают AM/PM, это то, что они спят лучше, и у них по утрам гораздо больше энергии.
And this is because this product actually regulates the biological clock inside each one of our cells.
И это возможно благодаря тому, что этот продукт регулирует биологические часы внутри каждой клетки.
In every one of the 100 trillion cells in our body,
Каждая из сотни триллионов клеточек в нашем теле
we have 7 feet of DNA.
у нас 7
7 feet of DNA.
в общем, длина ДНК, которая заключена в каждой клетке, если ее размотать, 7 футов. Это порядка
So if
метров.
we're 1/3 meter, or 1/3 of a meter of DNA, 1/3 of a meter of DNA in every cell.
Он говорит, что где-то порядка 30 сантиметров получается.
So if you multiply 100 trillion times 1/3
То
of a
есть, если
meter,
умножить 100 триллионов на полметра,
you see how much DNA we have inside our
можете себе
body.
представить, сколько ДНК у нас в теле.
We could go to the moon and back again.
То есть можно сказать на Луну и вернуться.
So the secret is to keep the DNA healthy.
И секрет заключается в том, чтобы сохранять ДНК здоровой.
And in a recent study just a few months ago, we showed at the University of Miami that we are able to dramatically reduce the damage to the DNA so our cells stay healthy.
И благодаря нашим новейшим исследованиям, мы презентовали наши достижения в университете Майами, мы обнаружили, что мы можем сократить ущерб, наносимый ДНК, очень существенно.
So the science behind this was difficult to work out.
Научная подоплека вот этого продукта, это очень сложная.
But then we had to figure out how do we put 92 ingredients inside 2 capsules.
Мы это разработали, но затем возникла следующая сложность, как 92 ингредиента уложить всего в 2 капсулы.
So the manufacturing science had to be changed in order to put these compounds into the AM/PM formula.
Поэтому и, собственно, научная разработка по производству данного продукта тоже должна, у нее пришлось внести изменения, чтобы сделать возможным собрать все эти компоненты вместе.
Most vitamin and mineral supplements go inside your mouth and come out the same way.
В основном все витамины и БАДы, которые вы их принимаете через рот, и они выходят с другого места, как известно.
They don't do much except for make the sewer system more healthy.
В принципе, ничего не делают, кроме того, что отходы, в общем, получаются более здоровыми.
Bioavailability,
Биодоступность.
that is the ability of the compounds to get into your body to do the work, was one of the key things that we had to overcome.
Это способность компонентов усваиваться организмом. Это то, над чем мы работали.
So when you have your AM/PM tablet, if you put it in a glass of warm water,
То есть, когда вы берете таблетку AM/PM и растворяете ее в стакане теплой воды,
you can actually show your friends how within a few minutes it opens up like a flower and dissolves.
вы увидите, если вы это сделаете, увидите, что она раскроется как цветок и растворится буквально за минуту или несколько минут.
And this is one of the big secrets of keeping yourselves healthy.
И это один из самых больших секретов того, каким образом мы можем помочь себе оставаться здоровыми.
Is to have the compounds that are placed in available to your body to use.
Это сделать все компоненты доступными, биодоступными вашему организму для усваивания.
So in a recent study, we showed that within 8 weeks, people felt much more energy.
И в наших последних исследованиях мы смогли показать, что за 8 недель люди, которые принимали наш продукт, чувствовали себя гораздо более энергичными.
Dramatically better sleep.
Они намного лучше спали.
Their memory and focus was much better.
У них улучшилась концентрация и память.
Their health, that is, they did not get sick as often.
Они стали меньше болеть, то есть здоровье улучшилось.
And they felt there was much less stress in their
И они
lives.
чувствовали гораздо меньше стресса.
So at Jeunesse, our focus is not just creating products, but to obtain the science to support what these products do.
Jeunesse занимается не только тем, что создает продукты, а тем, что привлекает науку для создания этих продуктов.
So in summary,
И в заключение, чтобы подвести итог,
you're all here to hear about Jeunesse and to hear about a number of products today.
вы сегодня собрались здесь, чтобы послушать о Jeunesse и также послушать презентации продуктов.
So I propose to you something very important.
И я бы хотела вам предложить сделать кое-что важное.
You don't become distributors or salespeople for Jeunesse only.
Чтобы не стать просто распространителем продукта Jeunesse,
But basically what you become is ambassadors of health.
а стать послом здоровья, посланником здоровья.
You bring to people that you meet
И причина, по которой я сотрудничаю с Jeunesse, не потому, что я хочу, чтобы у Jeunesse были продукты, которые Jeunesse будет продавать.
but most importantly, Jeunesse brings to you and to everyone you touch the real science and information about staying healthier and really improving the quality of your lives.
А именно потому, что посредством вас и каждого человека, с которым вы соприкасаетесь, Jeunesse передает информацию о том, как оставаться здоровыми и стать здоровее, чем вы были.
So when you're talking to your friends and you're explaining to them what AM/PM does, explain to them that AM/PM and the science behind Jeunesse is something that they can't buy for any price, but you're bringing to them one of the most important things they can have in their lives.
И когда вы будете разговаривать со своими друзьями и объяснять им, что за продукт вы продаете, скажите им, что за ним стоит наука, и в нем содержится та информация, которая им позволит стать здоровее, и это невозможно купить ни за какие деньги и больше нигде.
Thank you.
Спасибо.